Hey, what's up, guys? Let's talk about Smackdown for March the 10th, 2023. It was an okay show, but before we get into it, we're going to talk about some news real quick. Just a quick little note about the Smackdown negotiations. So this is coming from Sportskeeda, and I'll link this in the description below. So, it says that WWE is entering an incredibly important time in the promotion's history as media rights fees are up for negotiation. However, recent support suggests that the SmackDown brand may not be getting renewed by Fox at an increased rate. So, the negotiations are up. They're up for negotiation starting on September 2024. But the negotiations start start this year. So this is coming from David Bixenspan, and he noted that Mike Ozanian noted that Wells Fargo Securities does not believe that Fox will be willing to do a new deal at an increased rate over the current $205 million deal that they're doing now. He suggested that the network may want to split SmackDown with a streaming partner, or the Blue brand could leave its current spot on Fox. And he breaks down, all the deals via percentage. Via Twitter. And then also Dave Meltzer, he added this. He says, at this stage of the game, the belief is that McMahon's presence is a hindrance and may not help in these negotiations, although as the largest stockholder, he is also the key beneficiary financially if and when the sale does go down, and for that reason forced his way into the process, said Meltzer. So I'll link this in the description below. Make of it what you will. I don't know what Fox is going to do. People have to realize that people have been cutting the cable cord, for a while now. I don't know anybody who uses cable anymore. Most people either use streaming services or Fire Stick. I personally use Fire Stick. I love it. And, all streaming services are losing money. So even if they were to partner up with a streaming service, they would probably lose even more money. Because who would they go with? Personally, I think what they probably might do is they may end up cutting ties with WWE, and that would allow the USA Network to pick them back up and get SmackDown off of Fridays and put them on Tuesdays, and then just move NXT to Peacock and put it on maybe Wednesdays or Thursdays at 8. That's kind of what I would do, but just leave it like that. Kind of how NXT was during its black and gold days. That's honestly what they might do, but only time will tell. But it's interesting to say, nonetheless. But that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and get into SmackDown, shall we? SmackDown this week was alright. It could have been better, though, but it was okay. So Paul Heyman, he starts the show. He waits as the black SUV pulls up. Out come the Usos. Jey asks where Roman is. Heyman just looks at Jey. He hugs him. Heyman says that Roman is really proud of Jey, and so is he. Jey tells Heyman to let Roman know when he's here. Whenever he finds out where he is, then Paul Heyman, he walks off. Kayla Braxton, she asks Jey why he turned on Sami. Jey says everything he needs to say will be said in the middle of the ring tonight. And then Jimmy says Kayla needs to be asking Cody Rhodes why he put his nose in Bloodline business. And then the Usos, they dip out. First match of the night, Fatal 5-Way to determine the number one contender to face Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. Xavier Woods, LA Knight, Karrion Kross, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre. So the finish came via a bro kick and a claymore to LA Knight and Xavier Woods. Both refs counted 3. That sent Sheamus and McIntyre to argue. Some of the fans in the crowd started chanting triple threat. And this, to me, it does make sense. This kind of was the right call here. You kind of knew this was going to happen anyway. So it does make the most sense. And it works itself out. Also, I forgot to mention that Imperium, they were out on the stage watching the match as well. They came in like the middle part of it. Moving on. Kayla Braxton, she's backstage with Paul Heyman. She wants insight for Jey turning on Sami. So Paul, he's distracted. He's not paying attention. Heyman says that this Cody Rhodes problem is too much. He says we get heat for talking about Cody's family, but on Monday he got involved in the bloodline business, and that's family. He says it's almost a counterattack. Paul talks more about Cody and says, due to all this emotional baggage, Cody will already be a defeated opponent when he enters the ring at WrestleMania. Heyman says the only story left for Cody to tell will be when he's off the mat after losing to Roman Reigns, and he has to pick the time and place to truthfully acknowledge Roman Reigns. Good stuff there. I enjoyed that. So McIntyre and Sheamus, they're arguing backstage, and the Brawling Brutes are having to separate both guys. Makes sense, though. Really good shit there. So we get our first inductee of the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2023, Rey Mysterio. This is great. Loved it. So Rey gets on the mic. He thanks the fans real quick, but then he's interrupted by Judgment Day. So Dominik says this is pathetic. He tells the fans to shut up. Dom says, is WWE really inducting a washed-up old man into the Hall of Fame? Dom says, how many birthdays, holidays, and soccer games did Rey miss? All just to make this Hall of Fame career. So he says Rhea was right. He's ashamed to be Rey's son. Out comes Legado del Fantasma, the whole crew. So Santos gets into the ring. He grabs the mic. Santos says Rey may have let go of what Dominik did last week, but he hasn't. So Santos yells at Dom to shut up. Santos mentions the 6-man tag and says, let's just have it right now. That leads us into the Judgment Day versus Legado del Fantasma. Dom, he wins. He rolls up. I think it was Raul Mendoza who got rolled up, I believe. But now he goes by Cruz del Toro. So yeah, that's how Dom won, via roll up. He gets on the mic. Dom wants Rey to get into the ring. He says, let's just have a talk. He asks for Judgment Day to leave. So Rey gets into the ring. Dom says he doesn't understand why WWE is inducting Rey when he only deserves to be in the Deadbeat Dad Hall of Fame. Really good stuff right there. Really good shit right there. It made me laugh. Dominik says he should have been Eddie's son. Dom backs up Ray. He taunts him. Dom, he shoves Ray with a forearm, tells him to bring it. So Ray turns his back to leave. Dom charges Ray. Ray ducks, sending Dominik through the ropes. And Dominik begins to throw a fit. Ray then says he's not going to fight Dominik. He won't fight him no matter what. Dominik insists that they're going to fight. So we all know this is going to be leading to a tag match involving Santos, Escobar, and Rey Mysterio versus Dominik Mysterio and Damien Priest. Makes the most sense. And I think that's where the story should head to anyway. So, can't wait to see that. Everybody wants to see Dominik get his ass kicked. We all do. Moving on. Charlotte Flair, she's backstage. She's waiting for Adam Pearce. So Pearce, he's stressed out over the job as usual. Charlotte says it's WrestleMania season. She just wants a match with anybody. Adam Pearce says he'll see what he can do tonight. Charlotte Flair, she thanks him and tells him to hang in there. Next, the Viking Raiders versus Braun Strowman and Ricochet. The Viking Raiders win via splash from the top rope. Really, really solid match here. Towards the end of the match, Strowman tried to do the train thing. Eric moved out of the way. And I think that Valhalla, a.k.a. Sarah Logan, cast some type of spell on Ricochet. And we did some spooky, weird shit. Whatever reason, I don't know why. So then Ivar, he hit the spin kick. And then he followed it up with a splash from the top rope. And they won. Makes sense, I guess. Don't really too much care. Ricochet and Braun, they don't lose anything by losing at all. They just don't. They're still going to be over regardless. Next, Imperium, they're backstage. So Adam Pearce is being confronted by Gunther. Gunther says Pearce had one task, could come up with one single challenger for WrestleMania, not two challengers. Gunther says Pearce has lost all authority with his staff, and this election of his duties will not be tolerated. Pearce tries to calm things, says he doesn't agree, but he hears what Gunther's saying. Pearce says Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre will take place next week. The winner being Gunther's sole challenger at WrestleMania. And then Gunther says he'll be watching, and then they walk out. Makes sense. Right call here. It makes sense though. I'm down for it. Sheamus and McIntyre is gonna bang, so we know that. It's gonna kick major ass. Next, Charlotte Flair versus Shotzi. My girl can't catch a break at all. I feel bad for my girl Shotzi. So Charlotte hits a spear, and then she goes into the figure eight. Shotzi taps. I feel bad for my girl. I really feel bad for Shotzi. The girl can't take a break. Damn, my girl can't take a break. What the hell is she doing, man? I feel bad for Shotzi, man. I hate to say it, but I want her back in NXT for a little bit. Seriously. So, post-match, Rhea Ripley gets on the ring because she's been watching Flair's match. So, Charlotte Flair ask her what she has to say. She calls Rhea a kid. I hate that she did that. It makes zero sense. Rhea's not even a kid. I hate that term. Rhea's been improving leaps and bounds. Rhea is phenomenal, man. I love me some Rhea Ripley. I love me some Rhea Ripley. I do. So Rhea says, watching Charlotte just reminded her exactly why she chose Charlotte after winning the Royal Rumble. She says that Flair can wipe that smug look off her face because when she looks into Charlotte's eyes, she doesn't see acceptance. She only sees all of Flair's insecurities. So Rhea says at WrestleMania, she'll take the one thing that Flair that makes Flair feel so important when she becomes the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Charlotte then tells her to hush. Charlotte says Rhea's improvement may be something she's proud of, but Charlotte has improved every single day of her life. Some people love her for it, others react negatively, but it's a fact. She wants it more. She will outwork anyone, male or female, because she takes this business very serious. Flair says, you are Rhea Bloody Ripley, and that means you'll rip apart anyone standing in your way except me. And that was it. Not too good of a segment. Charlotte still not taking Rhea as a viable threat, which she really is. And like I said before, Rhea has improved tenfold. She's done tremendous. But Charlotte not taking Rhea seriously, it's not a good look. And this cannot be the co-main event of night one of WrestleMania. It just can't be. We need more story than what's, going on here. So, the Bloodline, they end the show. So, Jamie declares that the Bloodline's back together in your city. Jey says the big question all week has been the fans interrupt. They get a good little Sami chant going. Jey says everyone knows. Jey says everyone is asking why he did it. Why he betrayed Sami like that. Jey says, let's switch roles for a second. What would you have done? Jey talks about family and says he did it because he had to do it. Jey says he didn't want to do it, but he had no choice. He never had a choice because Jimmy is his blood, his twin, his brother, his family, not you, and neither any of you fans. Jey says the fans don't know what he's going through each week. Jey says there's only one person he blames, that's Sami. Jey says Sami's problem is what Roman Reigns already said. Sami is selfish. All Sami had to do was fall in line, but he'll never know anything about that because he's not blood. Jimmy says now they only have to get rid of... now that they got rid of the Sami Zayn problem, there's only one problem that they need to get rid of, and that's Cody Rhodes. Jimmy asks Cody what the issue is. Cody Rhodes comes out. He says that he keeps hearing his name, so if you're going to talk about him, how about talking directly to him? So Cody says the Usos mentioned how they answered to Roman, but he doesn't. Cody says it sounds like the fans don't want to hear them talk all night. They want to see a fight. So Jimmy warns Cody if he gets any closer, he won't make it to WrestleMania because they'll put him on the shelf just like they did, just like Sami is. So Cody gets into the ring, takes off his jacket and tie, and Sami Zayn comes from the crowd. He attacks Jey. Everybody starts brawling, and then Sami and Cody, they throw the Usos over the top rope, and they stand tall, and that was it. It was okay. Could have been better, but it was okay nonetheless. This just is a reminder that they're probably going to be setting up a 6-man tag for the go-home show. Probably the Raw I mean, probably the Raw go-home show for WrestleMania. They probably would end up doing that. But overall, it was decent. It makes sense. I'm shocked that Solo didn't come out at all, though. That's what shocked me the most, because Solo wasn't out there for whatever reason. The show this week was okay. There was no Bray Wyatt. There was no Roman Reigns. There was no Solo Sikoa. Just SmackDown, to me, felt okay at best. I'm not even going to say decent, but it felt okay. The Rhea, Charlotte Flair stuff could have been better. The Dominik and Rey Mysterio stuff, that kicks ass. I love it. It's so good. Because everybody can't wait to see Dominik get his ass kicked. That's going to be tremendous when it happens. And then the Drew and Sheamus stuff is okay as well. So, yeah. And you never know. We might get a triple threat for the IC title. I don't want it to happen, but I much rather would prefer if Drew is the one who dethrones Gunther, and then Gunther can go ahead and face Cody, because they basically have that penciled in. We'll probably get that around SummerSlam, but that's what I would do. But overall, SmackDown this week was all right. So let me know what you guys think. Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.